We did dinner and drinks before, and then we met up with a bunch of like my friends and her friends after.
Oh my God. Are you paying for everybody's concert tickets?
Yeah.
Really?
I believe, and this is the traditional man in me, that if you're inviting someone on a date, you should pay.
This is why dudes hate you, actually. Like,
That's fine. I got no problem with that.
I can't afford to take me and
Again,
my girl and all my
but you don't have
homies.
to do it all the time. Like, again, not every concert's got to be fucking extra.
Hello and welcome back to Overstimulated with me, Hillary Henderson. This week we have our first author on the podcast. We've actually never had anyone who knows how to read before on this show, as you guys know. He's an author, influencer, fun uncle. Ricky Liorti is here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming,
This is exciting.
Ricky.
I'm glad to be on this.
I'm excited to have you here. I know that you first went viral on social media because you made a boyfriend application video.
Yeah, this was before like going viral was like a very common thing too. This is like early COVID days when this went viral.
Yeah.
And I just remember opening up my phone and it was just like unlimited notifications at all time. And I'm a very normal person. Like I work in construction. I have a normal day job. I've never gone viral. I didn't do social media at the time. So like when this went viral, like blog TOs reaching out to me, like Nar City, like, hey, can we do interviews? I'm like, for what? Like, for my boyfriend trend application?
Right.
Like,
Yeah. For a couple pieces of video I pieced together
Yeah,
and like
literally
put some
something I
text
made
over. Yeah.
before bed as a joke because I'm single. Like,
Hilarious.
yeah, it was funny though. But it basically like started my social media career. I'm
That's
not gonna
very
lie.
cool.
So,
I also made a girlfriend application video when that trend was happening. No responses, no virality, shockingly. So, you know,
I'm
you're
gonna find
doing
it.
better
I'm
than
gonna
me.
comment on it.
Okay,
I'm gonna bring it back for you.
I'm sure at the time I was probably making it very satirical and
Yeah.
it was like, it was really stupid and like actually probably not selling myself.
Well, people have asked me like, what do you think about it? Made that go viral? I'm like, I have no idea. It was like the most generic, plain Jane thing. It's like, I'm Ricky. I'm 30 years old. I work in construction. I'm Italian Brazilian. I love my friends.
I
love
know
my family.
Ricky, come on. I know I went viral.
And
Come
me,
on,
I
like
was
the way
early
you're
on.
talking
I was
about.
early on. That's it.
You're like, this is what girls exactly want. You're just like, I have no idea. I
was like, yeah. I was tanned. It was summertime.
Yeah. Did you have some shirtless videos in it too?
Yeah, I might have had one at the end. You always throw a thirst trap in at the end just for fun.
Yeah. Okay. You
It's
got
like if you made it
have
to the end, good for you. Here you go.
Here's your little
Yeah.
treat. Enjoy
Yeah.
that on the ride home. If your friend had to make like a boyfriend application for you, what do you think is like the best thing they would say about you and the worst thing they'd say about you?
The best thing they would say about me is I'd probably say my energy. Like I can make people feel really good. I can make people feel happy when we're together. My worst thing, oh my God, depends which friends you ask. Some of them would roast me like on spot. But no, I'm stubborn. I'm definitely stubborn. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
Are you a Taurus?
No, I'm a Virgo.
Oh, also stubborn.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's for sure why I'm stubborn. No, but honestly, I am stubborn. I used to want to work on it. Now I'm like, it is what it is. I'm stubborn.
Yeah.
I'm stubborn about the things I care about.
Okay.
So.
What are the things you're stubborn about? Like your routine and like.
Yeah, like certain things in my routine I won't change, and like, you know, sometimes you have to. But I'm stubborn about like things I really care about. And when people are trying to tell me I'm wrong about the things I care about, like I'll push back a lot. Like I won't just pander to people. I won't just roll over. I won't just agree with someone to move on to the next item. It's like, if I care about this, we are going to hash this out and we are going to fight this out because I'm not letting this one go. So it does happen that I am very stubborn.
That means we're gonna have a really great episode today, you guys. Ricky and I are gonna fight.
Yeah,
we're gonna be. I was telling them I was just at the gym earlier. Ricky did a bar class this
I'm
morning.
ready to
We are
rock and
fighting.
roll.
This is a brawl.
Yeah. Wait, what would yours be?
A great question. I think I feel
Great
like
question. I asked you the same one back.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, ChatGPT really slayed with that. No. I would say for myself, like friends would probably say best quality would be probably my humor. And like, I mean, similar, I guess, like energy. Worst, probably that I'm so busy.
You know what's so funny? So I read the notes, obviously. And
Yeah.
it was like one of those, what's a green flag that's technically a red flag?
Yeah.
And it's being super busy.
Oh.
I thought about that because I'm insanely busy and I love being busy. And I met someone a few weeks ago and we decided we were going to go on a date.
Cool.
It took us 3 weeks to go on a date.
Right. It happens.
It's just because I had
yeah.
things planned and like I was traveling, I couldn't cancel. The only nights I was free, she was busy.
Right.
Neither of us could move. I'm like, fuck, like what if it just fizzled out because we were both so busy? That'd be such a shitty thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, I love being super busy and I think it's such a green flag when people are busy, but it's also like definitely a red flag when you're that busy.
Well, it's like, I think it's the difference of like, you know, I live a very busy life, like doing stand-up comedy, but like my boyfriend, for example, like he'll come to shows and like he's like flexible to be like, yo, this is
Yeah,
our
he'll be
like
part
date
of
night
it.
tonight.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? So yeah, I feel like it takes like a certain person and like it's always that give and take. It's always that balance.
It is 100% compromise.
I love it. I have a game for us to play, Ricky, to
Let's
get
do it.
started here. It's called Wrong Answers Only.
Okay.
I'm gonna rapid fire you a question related to dating.
Yep.
And you're gonna give us the worst advice. So like the
worst
opposite
advice.
of
Oh
what you
my
would
God.
actually advise.
So you know what's so funny? I actually like everyone thinks I'm like a dating expert because I talk about dating on social media.
Yeah,
It's like,
you wrote a book about it.
yeah, like I am not an expert by any means, guys. Like, oh my God, don't take my advice. Like this advice works for me,
Yeah.
and I'm me. But yeah, it's always so funny. Someone like, this is the worst advice ever. I was like, I just said it was my advice. I didn't say take it. Like I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
To be clear, Ricky you're 34.
34,
34 and single.
Yeah.
So if he was an expert, you think he would have cracked
Yeah,
it for himself.
might have found my person, but no, I'm kidding.
But we like to say on Overstimulated, it's always the blind leading the blind.
Yeah.
And we're getting some new things to think about along the way.
Yeah.
So I got some wrong answers only for you. Wrong
Let's
answer
do it.
only. What's the best way to get over a breakup?
Drink.
Also, we're going to clip all of these.
Okay.
So it's like
Best way to get over a breakup: drink.
Drink your face off. Okay,
Yeah.
love it. How do you make someone fall in love with you instantly?
Be an asshole.
Oh, okay. We're going to talk about that later. Is it okay to cheat if they cheat first?
Yes. Yeah.
Some-
Wrong answers only.
Wrong
Yeah.
answers only. Someone is nice, but you don't think they're hot. Should you keep dating them?
Yes.
I love it. Has it ever happened to you?
I've never dated anyone I wasn't physically attracted to.
I feel like that's like a very boy answer. It's usually girls that are like, nobody's nice.
Yeah, well, yeah, I get. No, I think like, and I get shit on this. Oh, I get shit on online for this all the time. I believe that you should find your person is insanely beautiful. Beauty is very subjective. Everybody knows that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Yada yada yada. But if you don't think your partner's attractive, or you don't think your partner's beautiful, or you can't see their beauty,
Yeah.
that's tough.
No. Also, respect yourself, ladies. Like, why would you want a man to be
Yeah.
with you who doesn't think you're sexy as hell? Like,
Fucking right.
ew.
And I've been with women that my friends are like, Ricky, what? I'm like, she's stunning. And they're like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm very fucking
Right, but
sure.
it's like, it's not there. Yeah.
Like, you know the movie Shallow Hal? You remember that movie back in the day?
No.
So it's about this guy who's like insanely shallow. He meets Tony Robbins in an elevator, and like Tony Robbins helps him see women's inner beauties. So he meets women who, you know, might not be the most attractive physically, but he envisions them as like the most attractive women ever. So he's thinking he's dating these like supermodels. And I was like, that'd be the coolest thing ever, to see someone's beauty that nobody else sees.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
that would be so cool if I could just meet someone that nobody thought was beautiful, but they were the most beautiful person in the world to me.
There's like actually no competition.
I
You're
don't
good,
care about
but,
the competition. I'm like, that'd be so cool to just see someone's beauty that nobody else sees. But
I think we can't. I think we do see that though. Like when you're like having like close relationships with people,
Yeah.
I think you get to like know sides of them and see parts of them that you can
Well,
love.
But yeah,
like,
but the
maybe
more you
not
get to
beautiful
know
in
them,
the
right?
sense
The more
of-
you get to know them, you see like inner beauty and you see like their personality, like when that shines.
Yeah.
But imagine just looking at someone physically and seeing something that nobody else sees. Like that would be so cool.
Like if you're like, oh my gosh, like everyone
Like that's
else.
Miranda Kerr, and it's like not. You know, like the opposite of Miranda Kerr, like whoever, right?
You're like, no one else knows she has D cups like I do. Actually, she's been hiding them from everybody else. Okay, speaking of you getting hate online,
Yeah.
you got some hate online recently. You get
I'm
some
being
hate
shit on.
online.
You know
get
what?
some
I actually
shit.
don't get that much hate online, like very rarely. And I got shit on.
You
this
got
week.
shit on for
Big
being
time.
a single famous guy.
Like, yeah, for being single and 30 and loving himself. Like, I'm just like, okay, I guess we don't love strong, independent men anymore. Like,
Yeah, right. Well, okay, I wanted to ask you, so you know, do you think the problem is that you're like too cocky? Do you think you're too confident? Because I know you've been on a journey of self-confidence, as we
Yeah.
all have. Like, do you think you've arrived at a point where now people are like, fuck you?
Well, that's what I said. Like,
Yeah.
literally, I added you to close stories because I wanted you to see it so we could talk about this. But I
Yo,
think,
don't remove me off that
no,
privilege,
no,
please.
you
I
got
want to
this.
stay.
We're podcast friends now, right? I'm gonna get you on mine
That's
too.
right. Perfect.
We're gonna
I love
do
that,
this.
yeah.
We're homies now. We're pals. No, but I said this. Like, if people that are chirping me online now, like, oh, he's so cocky, he's so conceited, he thinks he's all this, he thinks he's all that, like, he ain't shit. If those people would have saw me like 7 or 8 years ago when I was like miserably depressed and I hated myself and like, you know, I hated the person I saw in the mirror, those people would be like, oh my God, like, yo, you'll get there. Don't worry. Like, you'll be fine. Keep working on yourself. Like, you got this. Come on. You're going to be good. Tomorrow's another day. But then you get to that version
Right.
of yourself that you've always wanted to be.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm far from it, but I do believe I'm one of the best versions of myself ever right now. You know, I've worked on myself so much. I've gone to therapy. I've journaled. I cold plunge every day, like, or not every day, but I work out. I
It's
take care of my
aggressive to do it every day. It's
Yeah, little aggressive.
sociopathic serial killer energy to do it
Yeah,
every day.
I do it maybe not every day, but I do it enough. Like I go to the gym, I go for walks, I hang out with my friends. Like I do all the things that I'm supposed to do that, when you're going through a rough time that people tell you to do. And I've made it so part of my life now. And now that I've arrived at this place I'm now, everyone's like, oh, he's so cocky, he's so this. And it's like, okay, maybe I am a little bit super confident, cocky, whatever you want to say, but like someone's like, this guy's insufferable. I was like, wow, all right. Well, fuck me, I guess.
Well,
Like,
I mean, people are making passing judgments off
Yeah.
of 30-second clips.
it
of you
is what it
talking
is.
about
I don't
something. Yeah,
mind.
for sure.
Whenever you get hate, you're always like, you're doing something right.
Yeah,
And then that's why you have to have thick skin to be on the internet. Like you're a comedian. You
for
get
sure.
it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, for sure.
You're gonna have
for
a day
sure.
where you didn't crush it and people are gonna be like, fuck this bitch. Like,
Yep. Oh, yeah. That's almost a weekly, daily occurrence. Where
look at
like,
things you
I
can-
get a lot more hate than you do.
yeah,
I think
you
on
can
a
clap
routinely
back
basis.
though. Like I would
Sure.
love to be a comedian
Yeah.
where I'd be like, oh, you chirped me? Let's open up your profile. Emily with 6 cats from Idaho. Like, fuck you, let's do this. But I
Right.
can't because I'm such a PG-13 brand, like a family-friendly brand.
Maybe you have to venture into some. I can help you.
Maybe that's it.
I'll be your ghostwriter. I heard you're trying to expand
Maybe
your
that's
team
it.
right now. I'll
Yeah.
help out.
Yeah, I'm gonna just start fucking going in on people now.
Just to bring everybody up to speed, in case you're not aware of what we're talking about. Ricky was on a very well-known podcast
Very
that we're
well-known.
huge
Big.
fans of
Yeah.
here. It's called Girls Gotta Eat with Ashley and Raina. We're huge fans of them.
And they were great. Like we got along really well too.
It sounded like you guys
even
did in
after the podcast,
episode.
we hung out. We were texting after, like, send me all recos. Like when
That's so fun.
when Ashley comes to Toronto in the summer, like we discussed hanging out. So I'm
Yeah.
like, we had a good conversation. We vibed.
Yeah.
And then this came out. I was just like, boom, boom, boom. I was like, uh-oh.
And people,
Right.
there was a clip of you basically just saying that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're saying that like you're not willing to settle on things that you want in
Yeah.
a relationship, things you want of your life because you've worked so hard to develop your life
Yeah.
for yourself, and people did not take that well.
No, and I think it's because I used the word sacrifice. Like, the word
Right.
sacrifice
Yeah.
apparently was like a fucking.
That was trigger.
Yeah,
Hashtag trigger.
apparently, yeah, definitely triggered for
Yeah.
a lot of women. But no, like the idea of compromising. Like right now, there's no one in my life that I'm willing to compromise my wants and my needs for. When you meet someone that changes your life, you don't even think about it. You compromise. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
It's human nature that you want to. Like I would have no problem if I met my person. I would stop traveling to all these crazy places alone because I'd want to spend more time with them.
Sure.
Or
Yeah.
I wouldn't be going.
But it's even true of like friendships, right? Like I was having dinner with a friend on Saturday night, for example. I went to her place, she made me dinner. It was inconvenient. It was a sacrifice, in air quotes, for me to like get on the subway for half an hour, spend time with her. Like I could have been working on my business at that time. I could have
there's so
been
many
doing,
things.
right? Like I could be doing other things. Also for her, she had to spend money on extra groceries to feed me. She had to spend the
time
whatever,
cooking.
right?
Yeah.
Like these are all like, if we get down to really minute details, like sacrifices, and it's always going to be like a sacrifice or a little bit inconvenient to be around people.
100%. But the people you want to sacrifice, make sacrifices for, air quotes, are those the people that you want in your life.
Right.
Right. And roles reversed. Like I want people who will make sacrifices for me just like I would make sacrifices for
sure.
them.
Yeah.
Maybe I gotta watch using the word sacrifice.
Sacrifice. I don't know. Do you think there's, sorry, I just real okay. We'll cut this part out. Why do you think other people settle? Or have you ever settled before in your life?
I've never settled.
Okay.
I've
never settled. I'm a
Yeah,
hustler.
no,
That's
like
how they got me.
all my relationships and even all my friendships, I think I've surrounded myself with so many amazing people in my life. And I'm so grateful that, when I went through hard times, I had so many people there for me. When I'm at the top, I've got people cheering me on, like rooting me on. When I don't know if I'm going to be able to do something, I got people that are like, let's fucking go together. So I don't think I've ever settled in maybe not, actually, no, I don't think I've ever settled in many aspects of my life. So maybe I've in some that I just can't remember, but in all my relationships, like every time I've dated someone, I was like, okay, this might be my person. Like this person's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And if you see any of my exes, they're all amazing people. Like I don't think I have a bad thing to say about any of them.
Yeah. You, to be clear, throughout the whole GGE episode,
Yeah.
you did not talk shit
No,
about anyone.
I can't. Like so many people in my life are amazing. There's a couple people now I'd love to shit on, but
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
do you think is it like a projection thing? Like, do you think other people have settled and now like you talking and living your life is like triggering something within them?
maybe. I don't know. I think the trickiest part is that society tells us if we're not married with kids by 30, we're
Yeah.
behind.
Right.
Women, okay, and respectfully, women have biological clocks. So
Sure.
I get that. I get there's more pressure on women than there is for men. But You know, when you're single at past 30, it's what's wrong with you? Not, oh, how's life? Like, how's dating going? Like, what do you think the reason is you haven't found your person? It's like, no, what's wrong with you? Why haven't you found your person?
Right.
It's like, whoa, like, is that because I'm single and 34? Like, that's my identity?
Right.
Why don't
Yeah.
you say like, hey, look, you just traveled 6 times in 2025. Like, that's fucking awesome. Where'd you go? It's like,
Yeah.
oh no, you traveled alone. Why don't you have a girlfriend?
Right.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
How is that the second
Yeah.
question out of your mind?
Yeah.
Or, like, all
That's
my, like,
always what they're going to.
yeah, and like all my aunts and uncles, like, oh, you're next, you're next. It's like, okay, well, I'm probably not. Like, my cousin's like 24 and like has a girlfriend. They're probably next. Like, I've got so much time. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's
It's your family being sweet, and they're just like, Ricky's so great. We can't.
yeah,
fathom
they're just feeding
why.
my ego.
Yeah, exactly.
That just plays
This
into
guy's
the
gonna be weird.
arrogance.
Well, I actually wanted to ask you, like, I'm a bit younger than you. I'm 27, very youthful, very young.
Yeah.
But like now you're 34. You're experiencing all these pressures. Like you're on essentially season 5 of like marriages and babies and second marriages and like that kind of thing. Like, how do you keep yourself from not comparing to others?
It's just, you got to just focus on yourself. I made this TikTok the other day and I was just like, nobody cares what you do. Nobody really gives a fuck about anything you're doing in your life, and in the best possible way. Everybody's so focused on themselves and their relationships and their career and their hobbies and this and that. Like, nobody cares what you're doing. Everyone should focus on themselves and be the best version of themselves day in and day out. And that's what I try and do. Like, look, there's days where I fucking suck too. There's days where I hate everybody and I hate everything. But majority of the time I go to bed at night and I'm fucking happy with the day I had and the person I am. And when I wake up, I'm like, how are we going to metaphorically take over the world today? Like, I'm like ready to rock and roll. Just because I'm single, that has literally zero effect on my life. I've got a nephew and a niece. So like anytime I have baby fever, I just rip over to Oakville and I'm like, cool, got baby fever. They start crying. Okay, baby fever's over.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. You guys take care of the crying kids.
Someone's shitting themselves.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Someone changed the diaper.
Ricky's
Yeah.
gone.
Haven't changed the diaper and I've had a nephew for 2 years now. I'm like, don't know how to do it. I'll learn it one day.
Oh, good, I did. Okay, Ricky. So, as we were mentioning, you had some hate comments on the GGE episode. Can I read some of them to you?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go back more than them. Okay, so someone just said something about this guy doesn't sit right with me. Do you think you had like bad breath, bad cologne? Like
I
you're
think
reeking
it's just
up
my
the place.
face some days. My face just screams like, fuck you, I guess. I don't know what it is.
It's a punchable face.
Maybe it is. Maybe it was my angles. I don't know. Hopefully you guys got my good angles on this one today.
Yeah, we got some good ones. I don't know if it's
We'll
the
find
best.
out.
I don't know if it's optimal for you, but it looks fine. I don't know. But okay, another comment said, this dude wants to date himself. Like, would you go all the way with yourself on a first date? Like,
Maybe I'd wait till the third.
Wait till the third.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It depends how much. If myself took myself out on good dates.
Yeah,
like
would
really
you
good-
take yourself on just like a coffee and a walk,
Oh,
something
fuck
more
no.
elevated?
No, I'm a marathon date guy. Hello. Like, I want like a good solid 8-hour date. So if myself took myself on a date and it was anything less than that, fuck no, I'm not putting out at all.
Would you really?
No, fuck no. I'm making myself wait. Making myself, you know what? You take me on a coffee date, you ain't getting shit for like 10 days.
He's got a thirst for it.
Yeah,
He's
now
got
I'm like, no, I'm purposely gonna make you wait.
Okay, you actually do you'll do like a full 8-hour first
So
date?
I went on one of my first dates in, honestly, probably since my ex. And it was this woman I was telling you about who we had to wait 3 weeks.
The one most recent. Yeah.
We had to wait 3 weeks for
Did
it.
the date go good also?
It went really well, yeah.
Great.
She's amazing. Actually, she was my bar instructor this morning.
Oh, so
Yes,
it went
yes.
real great.
So we
Okay.
had a fun time, but she
Nice.
messaged me and she's like, we should do a berries class one day. I was like, oh, I've been asking you to do berries. Like, I've been asking you to hang out for years.
Cool.
She's like, yeah, I'm down. I'm like, okay, that's sick. Like, that's really cool. And I got invited to some workout class with like, I don't know, Lululemon or Aloe or something. And I was like, oh, like I actually got invited to class that I do berries. You want to do that? And like, we can cold plunge and sauna like right there. So
Nice.
we on it.
Oh,
So we did
you're
a workout
already
class.
getting into swimsuits on the first date. Then.
Yeah, well, like,
Yes.
you know,
know.
you know what I look like relatively naked by my Instagram. Like,
Just
call a
by
spade a
looking
spade.
on
Like,
Instagram. No, that's
you
so
basically
true.
know what I look like in a bathing
It's so
suit.
funny. One time a guy took me on, I think it was like a second date to like sauna cold plunge situation. And like I went and we had a nice time. But I remember saying to him like in a joking kind of way, like, oh, if you want to see me in a swimsuit that bad, I'd much rather you take me like to a beach or somewhere warm.
Somewhere
Like,
warm.
Yeah, we're
Get
just
on a
walking to
plane.
Yorkville. Like what the fuck? Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I ended up doing, it was honestly like a 10-hour date. I
Wow.
think between the workout class, the cold plunge and the sauna, and then we went for dinner.
Have
and
you
drinks.
always dated like that?
Yeah, basically.
I don't. Why? I wouldn't.
So-
What?
And I'm gonna shit on for this too, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it anyways. I believe first dates should have the possibility to be one of the best first dates of your life,
Sure. Yeah.
because I believe you should be setting the bar extremely high, and you should be raising it every fucking time. Women complain that men
So
don't
it's like
do
8-hour date, 10-hour
yeah,
date.
or maybe not 8, but you know the idea of like doing these fun, exciting things that like really give your relationship the best possible chance of succeeding. You know, women complain that men don't do much anymore. Well, women are also like, oh yeah, take me to coffee. Well, like coffee takes zero energy and zero effort. I understand you want to get to meet each other, and that's fair. Like if two people are like that, but I don't. I don't drink coffee. I don't want to go for coffee. Like, actually, I lied. I do love a good Starbucks date, but like casually.
Right.
Like if I really want to get to know someone and I waited 3 weeks to get to know this person and we've been texting every single day.
Yeah. At that point, you've built up a lot of rapport.
It's like, and I said this too. If you want to just get to know me, like if you're curious to know full vibe, just scroll through my social media. I've got hundreds of hours
You
of
actually
content.
don't need dating apps. People can just like...
Just go to my social media. Like you can get a
Here's my
good
digital
depiction. Like,
footprint,
hey, this guy travels a lot. He loves sports. He loves music. He hangs out with his family. He loves his friends. Like this guy's a fucking lot. And I am a lot. If you don't like someone who's a lot, I'm not your type.
Sure. You can tell pretty quickly what
it's
you're about.
It's fucking very obvious.
Yeah,
like my brand is very obvious.
Yeah, you're not hiding who you are.
Yeah, so
I think it only gets to be a problem when like guys are like dishing out a lot of money on a like first few dates.
Yeah, and like I'm not saying you have to go and spend money.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Like I mean something where it's like a work event where you
like
know
it was a workout class and then cold plunge sauna and then dinner and drinks. Like the whole thing was a couple $100 at most.
Yeah,
like at most. So it wasn't like it's expensive. Or let's ride bikes. Let's rent some like Bixie bikes, go down to Lakeshore, go down, we'll pack like some sandwiches and like have a little
crazy.
picnic.
Yeah.
Then we can come back, go get some real food and I don't know, go swimming in the lake. Whatever it is, whatever floats your boat, right? So
what do you think's a riskier financial investment? Having a girlfriend or starting a business?
Depends who you ask, but for me, I'd probably say, for me, it's having a girlfriend's probably riskier. I've started so many businesses. I'm pretty good with them. Like I'm like 4 for 5 unsuccessful businesses.
Okay.
Relationships, I'm 0 for 7, I guess. Like still single, so obviously I'm not doing something right. But no, I think, look, it all depends. They say behind every powerful man's a powerful woman. And I do believe that. I've seen my dad and what he's accomplished in his life. And my dad is definitely successful. Like as an entrepreneur financially, as in his business, like he's made it. And my mom was a stay-at-home the whole time, but my mom supported him through everything. Like when they had to, my dad's business was doing well, but we were in recession and he wasn't getting paid. Like they remortgaged the house twice.
Right. Is that what you're looking for? Like someone, like a stay-at-home, more traditional woman?
It all depends. Like, again, I always think when you have your idea of what you want in someone, then you meet someone, it goes out the fucking window.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, like ideally I do want a traditional household where it's, you know, one person goes to work, whether it's my wife or me, whoever makes more money, go ahead. Or whoever loves their career more. Even then, just as long as you make enough money, you know, great.
Would you want to be a stay-at-home dad?
Are you kidding? That's like my dream job.
Really?
I would love to.
You'd have to be changing some diapers then.
I will be the guy like practicing on footballs while the kids aren't shitting their pants. Like I would be diapering everything. I'll take the kids to work. I'll take the kids to school. Yeah. I'll drive my wife to work too. Fuck it. Let's do this. Cool. Like, I would love to be a stay-at-home dad. But no, I plan on being like kind of semi-retired when I have like kids.
Okay.
You know, like I'll just have like random investments, do random things. But like I want to be very present in my children's life when I have kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm talking about like 10 years down the road from now or whenever.
Well, I mean, you never know how it goes with Sauna Girl. Like,
yeah, you never know.
You know?
No, I'm not there yet. What about you? What would you want to do?
On a first date, I would feel uncomfortable with the idea of, I think if I went into a first date knowing it was going to be like 8 hours long, that would feel like a lot, especially if it was someone that like I met off a dating app or I didn't know. If it was someone that I knew, like let's say through work or through like friends or like a social connection, I probably would be down to invest more time. But I wouldn't want, that would make me feel so weird to like, I would be down if something, you know, dinner turned into this. Yeah. Like, you know, if you're just like, you want to just like keep hanging. But I also think sometimes spending too much time together at like, especially like the first date, because like anyone can be anyone on, you know,
100%.
Like I'm being my best, funniest, most charismatic self on a first date too.
You're doing
right?
Your best, yeah.
I'm right. And like, that's not, for me, I don't think that's like a real indicator of like who someone is over time. Right.
Yeah.
But
what'd your boyfriend do on your first date?
Oh, he took me to the Royal Ontario Museum, the ROM. And I met him off of Tinder, actually, which is not how you're supposed to find. Sponsor Tinder, no. Yeah. But I don't think that's a rare story that like people actually like connect in that way. But yeah, he took me to the ROM, and it's funny because he's also a blonde. Cringe. And the first thing I said to him was we were both wearing like a similar colored outfit, and I was like, "We're giving siblings or dating. Like this is whatever." Okay. And he was like, "That's so funny."
This
is
a Netflix reality show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so he like took me around the ROM, and then I think we went for coffee, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm running a party later tonight. Like, I got to stop at the LCBO. Like, do you want to come with me there?" And I was like, "Okay, cool." So we just like walked around, and then he like walked me home, and like that was kind of it. Yeah, so it was an 8 hour. It was a lengthy.
Maybe not 8 hours.
It was like 4. It was like 4. Yeah. More. That was more than what I usually would have done. Like, so for me, for example, because I met him off of a dating app, meeting him in like a public place on like a
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon, perfect, right? And that was also like if I would have been with him for like a half an hour at the ROM and I was like, oh my God, like this guy smells, like
Yeah.
talking to him is like pulling
100%.
teeth, like there's clearly not a vibe, then like I could have just been like, oh, like
you haven't escaped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, right? And I
So-
probably wouldn't have been down to like go for coffee and like run errands with him
Were
later.
you really excited for your first date with him?
I was excited. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay,
yeah.
good.
Well, because he travels a lot for work and like so do I. And so it was similar. Like I think we ended up texting back and forth for at least like 2 or 3 weeks before we actually
Building
got
the
to
anticipation.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I was like, I thought he was like funny over like text, but then I'm also like, well, lots of people can be like, use ChatGPT to like
Yeah,
write
I
their
get
text,
it.
right? So I
Wait,
was,
so this
like,
is a fairly new relationship because ChatGPT
It
is only like a year old here.
I met him last summer.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I always, because again, I can see both sides of any argument, right? I'm not someone where, even though I'm stubborn and I live my life my way, I also respect and see other people's sides. So when I went on a podcast,
Thank you for respecting my side.
yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
I get it. Like some people are like, Ricky, an 8-hour date is fucked. I'm like, I understand how it is fucked. Like again, that's what I like, and everybody's different.
Yeah, but also, okay, let's say for example, you like the yoga, whatever class, like the workout class girl, right? Like you, sorry, no disrespect on the name. I'm sure it's great. I just can't remember. You said to call her Stella James.
Too close to a real name. We can't
No,
do
okay,
that.
no,
I'm
we
kidding.
won't do that. Okay, so let's say for example, she showed up, was like bringing horrible energy to the class, was like not, appreciating it, was like not, interacting with it in the way that you were like hoping to. Like you probably wouldn't have been like, you would have been like, are you good? And like she went,
100%.
whatever, right? And then maybe you wouldn't have ended up doing all like the dinner and the drinks, or maybe you would have got to
Yeah.
dinner and
No,
been like,
you-
shit, this is not it. And then
Yeah,
be
you
like, see you,
cancel
have a good
certain
night.
things.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think if you're not really excited to go on a date, don't go. Don't waste anybody's time. If you're gonna go on a date, be excited and bring the best version of yourself. I always say that because like when I'm not 100%, I wouldn't want to introduce someone to a lesser version of myself. I'm doing myself a disservice.
Sure,
And I'm
yeah.
doing that person a disservice. If you're gonna take a Saturday night out of your life, like I believe Saturday nights are the most prime slots of the week.
Yes.
Especially for dating. If someone's giving me a Saturday night, I know they're interested. If I'm giving them a Saturday night, I know I'm interested.
Right.
So I want to make sure that we have the most fun so that even if it doesn't work romantically, at least we had a good time. We got to know each other and we got to do things we both enjoy.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, like a dinner and a concert and a night out is an ideal date for me. Because
That's
even if I
great.
don't
Yeah,
vibe with the
yeah.
person, we got to see an amazing concert
Yeah.
and we had good food and we had good drinks.
And these are things that you would want to do on your own or with friends or
It's
whoever
things I would
anyway.
do even if
yeah.
I wasn't going on a date.
Yeah.
Like I always joke about reality shows. Everyone's like, oh, Ricky, when are you going to go on The Bachelor? When are you
Yeah,
gonna go
would
on
you
Love
ever
Island?"
do a reality TV
Fuck
show?
no. You kidding? Do you think I want the world to see my mental fucking breakdown?
I don't know.
Absolutely not. No,
like you
absolutely
already
not.
on Girls Gotta Eat. Like that was like,
Yeah.
like you already
Lesson
got the
learned.
exposure. for
Lesson
that.
learned. Lesson learned. No, but I always said like if I wouldn't want to do the date, not on a date, then I don't want to do the date. So if I would, let's say someone's like, hey, do you want to go for coffee? I was like, I wouldn't want to go for coffee. So let's do something else. Like, let's go for a bike ride. Let's do it for a workout class. Or what do you like? You like doing Pilates? Fucking right. Take me
Cool.
to Pilates.
Yeah.
I'm so down.
Yeah.
So it doesn't always have to be my way or the highway, but I want to do something that's fun and enjoyable. So
Yeah.
I think that's where like I got shit on one podcast for saying like first dates should be amazing and long. And the person I was talking to is like, they're a dating expert. I'm not a dating
What did they
expert.
say about that?
They said I was out to lunch. They said, they actually said, Ricky, please, in 2025, go on a coffee first date.
Really? They were like, do your. What
And-
was their advice for that? Why did they want you
So
to do
they
coffee?
said the idea of a first date is just to get to see if you're interested in each other. It's to see if you vibe, to
Yeah.
see if you connect. Another piece of advice she gave me, and it's a weird one because it goes against everything I've ever been told. On a first date, you should be doing activities where you're side by side, not across from each other.
yeah.
So they said the reason why is because
It's funny, even to this day, like my boyfriend, even when we're out at a restaurant, like if there's an opportunity for us to sit beside each other or like at the corner, like he always like moves to like do that rather than sit across from each other.
So I've always been across.
Okay.
Always, my entire life. And then since that advice, I always, whenever I go to a restaurant now, I always try and get a corner table.
Maybe
'cause
my boyfriend listened to this podcast actually.
maybe, who knows? But I hate sitting side by side.
Yeah.
I think that's so weird. Like getting
Right.
comfy, then you gotta like angle to look at each other. But they say the reason is because on first dates, making eye contact can sometimes be nerve wracking for each other.
Sure. Yeah.
But that goes against everything I've ever been told. Like you should be staring someone at their eyes. Like
Right.
if you're confident in yourself and in others, you should be able to hold eye contact. So it literally went against everything I've ever been told, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take this advice because obviously this person knows more than I. I am
Right.
not a dating
Well,
expert.
I mean, you did say staring. You weren't like making eye contact in conversation. Like when
Yeah.
you say staring, it's like, oh my God. Like
yeah, it's just like,
be respectful and look at their boobs, God damn it.
yeah,
Like,
imagine.
yeah.
No, but I actually did go on a coffee date a little while back, and we had coffee, and then we ended up having lunch, and then we ended up going to do a whole bunch of other things. So that was my compromise. We ended up spending probably 6 hours together, but it started with coffee. And that was the intention, to start with coffee. It's just
Okay.
we vibed, we got along, so we ended up doing a bunch of other things. But yeah, I'm trying to open up my horizons because maybe I'm the reason I'm not dating people, right? So
Yeah,
I'm
you're
trying
going
to
on these marathon of
yeah,
dates.
maybe these
like-
marathon dates are the reason. Actually, to be honest, I haven't dated much in the last couple of years. There's been a couple of dates I've went on. I love concert dates, so I went on a couple of concert dates, and I fucking love a
What kind
concert.
of concerts are you going
I
to?
went to Usher.
Oh, cool.
Great concert date, and like we met before, and I just got back from a big trip, so I hadn't seen this person in a long time. We did dinner and drinks before, and then we met up with a bunch of like my friends and her friends after.
Oh my God. Are you paying for everybody's concert tickets?
Yeah.
Really?
I believe, and this is the traditional man in me, that if you're inviting someone on a date, you should pay.
This is why dudes hate you. Actually, like,
That's
this
fine.
Is,
Yeah,
this is
I got no
they're
problem
like,
with
I
that.
can't afford to take me and my
you-
girl and all
yeah,
my
but you don't have to
homies.
do it all the time. Like again, not every concert's got to be fucking Usher.
Sure.
You know,
yeah.
Drake
yeah.
Underground's got concerts for $20.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
you know.
Well, please accept this as my formal application to come
Yeah.
to the next Usher concert with you, Ricky. That's awesome. No, I think women in general like appreciate like generosity and and not only with like if you don't have got money, then like that's okay, but like with your energy, with your time,
It's
like
the
just
effort.
being exactly.
And that's what I've noticed. It's more about the effort than anything else. It's not about the money, because any guy, or not any guy, but a lot of men can just spend money on a woman. That doesn't mean they necessarily care. But the effort that you take to plan the date, to pick them up, to make sure that they feel comfortable. You know, I went on a date, again, same person, and I knew she was sleeping over. I was like, oh, is there anything you need me to pick up? Like, I'm going to the grocery store. I'm going across the street to Shoppers. Like, is there anything you need at my condo that'll make you feel more comfortable? I know you're sleeping over. Like, this is pre-planned.
Yeah.
Do you need anything? And she's like, do you have Q-tips? And I'm like, obviously, like, I'm a grown-ass man. I wouldn't have Q-tips.
You'd be surprised.
Fuck, apparently,
Yeah.
so I've heard some horror stories now. Apparently, like, I don't even want to say it because it's so gross, but apparently, like, boys don't fucking like clean toilets. I have a cleaning lady that comes every 2 to 3 weeks. So I've never have a ring of dirty, like, piss water on my fucking toilet. But apparently men in Toronto these days have, like, dirty toilets that have, like, piss stains on them. Like, what the fuck?
It's gross. It's rough out
Like,
there. It's like you're hovering. You're
Yeah.
squatting, hovering like it's a basement bathroom
apparently,
with
like,
sneaky
toilets
bees.
run out
and
of, like,
it's-
there's no toilet paper in some people's bathrooms. I'm like, yo, like, if you know you're having people over, like, how do you not fucking do that?
yeah.
Like, anyways, yeah. So I've heard some horror stories. So I didn't think the dating in Toronto was that bad.
Well,
Like,
you know
I've
what I
always-
did one time when there was no toilet paper at a guy's house? I was doing the post-sex pee, a necessity, by
yeah,
the way.
so you don't get bladder infections or
100%,
whatever.
exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
And none to be found. But he had like a Kleenex, like
Dispenser?
like yeah, on the back of the toilet. And I was like, buddy, we clearly have one paper product here. Like, what were we lacking? And so then I used that, but then the durability of a Kleenex is not the same as toilet paper. And then you're sitting down for round two.
Have you
And
ever,
he's like, what's this?
no, I'm just thinking, like, you hear these horror stories of, like, women that, like, go to the bathroom and, like, flush things down the toilet and, like, it clogs. Like, what would you ever do if the toilet? Have you ever clogged the toilet? At a boy's house?
Not at a boy's
Okay,
house.
thank
I don't, no.
What is the worst thing that's ever happened to you on a date?
On a date? Okay, well now we're thinking about the bathroom, so now I'm like whatever. But I don't think honestly, I wish I had like a big, like I could probably make up a story, it would not be true. But like I wish I had like something big or major like being disgusting. But I just like I remember when I first moved to Toronto, I was 24 and I was like, oh,
Wait, where are you
like,
from originally?
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Yeah. So I'm familiar with Oakville.
H-Town, yeah.
Yeah.
Hess Village, we get it.
Yes, yeah, I've been there, and that's a beautiful place to get roofied. It's gorgeous. It's like they have a little sign, Hess Village. It's like come for the nightlife, stay because you're roofied. It's so gorgeous.
Stay
It's
because you didn't plan to.
yeah, because you actually can't. You physically cannot leave. But yeah, when I moved to Toronto, I was 24 and like single, and I like just recently had like a really major like heartbreak, and so I was like, let's fucking go. Like I was also like, you know,
You're just getting it.
I think I was like my Tinder bio was like literally like I'm new, like whatever.
Oh,
like
so you were looking for it too.
yeah, and I was also just like, that's how
New to
fun.
Toronto, show me what's fun.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I was like, get some free
And
dinners.
you definitely had some
like,
bikini
go to
pictures
a
in there for
spot.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freshly single. Yeah.
Yeah. That's part of the territory
Yeah.
for sure. But but I remember at the time, like I was like 24 and it was like a lot of guys who were like over 35 were like super liking me and like swiping and like
Okay.
being like whatever. They were really getting in there. And it was just not good. Like, it was just weird. Like, it was just like, I could tell like they were into me because I was very young. Like, they kept asking me questions about like, what's it like being young here? Like, what's it like? It was just weird. Like, they were like trying to like
Yeah.
relive their youth through me.
Okay.
And then I remember like I've had like a bunch of shitty dates where it's like, I don't know, like basically the whole reason the guy like wanted to like take me out was so that he could get like feedback of like every guy on
Wait,
Toronto
what?
Tinder has got like 5 minutes of stand-up material that's in their notes app that they're just like begging to try. And I'm like,
What
bet
is
bitch, get
happening
on
in the
stage and
world?
try it then. Like,
What
why
is
are you trying to
happening?
workshop
Holy
this with me
crap.
on a date? Like,
Well, imagine
yeah.
if he's workshopping it with you. He's probably done it with other women too.
I don't know if
Imagine.
it's because like I was like I had like pictures of me like I don't know
On
stand-up's
stage, yeah,
a big part of my life, and so I wasn't gonna like be
Okay,
like
what's your worst date ever?
worst date ever. Probably this one date, like I met a guy off of Tinder and it was exactly that. Like he was trying to get me to get like not only did he have a notes app full of jokes that he wanted me to help him with, he also had like a screenplay that he wanted me to read and was like, "Oh, what's your email? What's your Gmail? I'll like send you the link to this like Google folder I'm working on." And I was like, maybe we can just like talk and get to know each other. And it was just like weird. And you know when like the vibe's just not there?
Oh, yeah?
And he went in for like a kiss at the end of the night. And it was just like, it's, like, I hate.
Wait, what happened? Did you kiss him back?
No, I like,
Okay, I just
you know,
making
I was
sure.
just like, oh, like,
You never know. I know
like,
someone were like, I didn't know what to do, so I froze. I kissed him back.
I've
I'm
been
like,
there
oh,
before. I've been there before. But like, I think like when somebody misreads a vibe, like there's nothing, you know what I mean? Like we weren't a match, that's fine. But the fact that he like just misread it so bad at the end, like that was like a, no,
Yeah.
thank you.
That's wild.
That's just like, I don't know. What's your like worst date ever? Have you ever
I've
had
been
some crazy?
fairly fortunate. No, I haven't had any crazy bad
Yeah.
dates.
See, this is what you're asking me. Like, what's the craziest? And I'm like, I wish
I've heard
you
horror
know,
stories,
Maybe
like,
I gotta dump my boyfriend so I can get back out there.
Yeah,
and
no,
get some
I've
stories.
heard horror stories. I heard actually Manhattan, like New York, I heard is terrible. Like I had no
Oh.
idea. Like I've heard bad stories in New York and even Toronto. I didn't know it was this bad, like especially for women. But apparently it's fucking bad.
No, it's bad. I feel like Toronto dating is like the women are just like intelligent, like kind, have like 3 businesses, like hot as hell. And then you look at the men and you're just like, my guy. Like,
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
See,
I
I had a
shouldn't all
hot
the
take
men,
that I
but
said a while ago. I'm like, if you think dating in your hometown is bad,
Yeah.
you're part of the problem.
for sure. Yeah, I agree
And
with
then I'm
that.
like, okay, but I don't think dating in Toronto is bad, but I don't think it's good. So am I part of my own problem of my own hot take? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I
Yeah.
gotta rethink this. And I keep shitting on Toronto lately. Because
Yeah.
I think Toronto's lost its spark since COVID.
Mm.
And then someone said, well, Ricky, by your standard, if you think Toronto's bad, you're part of the problem. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I really gotta shut my mouth with this hot
I think
take.
most people, though, no matter where you're from, you always have like a love-hate relationship with your city.
Well, especially with dating.
Yeah. And
Especially
I
if
feel
you're
like,
single.
I feel like it's like making fun of your family. You're like, wait, like I can make fun of them, but nobody else can. Like I'm gonna fight you if you make fun of
Yeah,
Toronto. But like if you're
100%.
here, like okay, fine, like you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, it's such like having a big city. I think also cities draw like a certain demographic, a certain like kind of person, and so. But I think like Toronto's so multicultural too, and like like everyone has different careers,
Yeah.
and like so I think like. It's maybe it's not so much like the city's bad. Maybe you're just like not in the right settings or environments.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think dating is easier in a small town or a big town? Let's say, let's say, not even Oakville. Let's go St. Catharines or
Ugh.
Toronto. Toronto's got to be better
What
than
am I
St.
going to do in
Catharines.
St. Catharines besides be the hottest person there,
Well,
Ricky?
I mean, like,
oh
think
my
about it. If you're
God,
single and dating in St. Catharines,
house in St. Catharines.
you've got like, what, a few thousand people max?
right,
Like,
yeah.
There's no options because the city's so small.
Right, yeah. This, and then you're doing
At
long
least-
distance
Yeah,
or
then
like
you live
whatever.
long distance. So at least in Toronto, you have, I don't want to say unlimited options, but there is so many people. When I hear women like, oh, I know all the good men in Toronto, it's like, no, you don't.
Right.
Go to Ossington, go to the beaches, go to Scarborough, go to, I don't know, fucking Koreatown, college, wherever.
Yeah,
Go to
yeah,
these-
yeah,
it's
different
like
neighborhood.
you're on King West every week and now you're bitching. Like,
Right. But it's also like because you're in that's what I was saying with the environment or
Yeah.
like if that's the only place you're going to meet people and you keep being disappointed, well, no shit, because that venue is always bringing in the
It's the
same type of person.
shit.
Yeah,
Mind you,
exactly.
I love King West, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not a King West hater here. Like
He's a
I'm
King's
very
West
yeah.
apologist. Get
I'm
him.
very pro King West. Like if I go out in Toronto, I go on King West. So I don't shit on King West
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah.
But
I think, I mean, I met my boyfriend through Tinder and that was not planned. And before that was single for like 3 or 4 years before I met him. And like the person I dated before that, I also met on a dating app. And so like, I haven't had personally a lot of success, like meeting people in person, like in the places
I
I'm
actually
at.
love dating apps. When I was like actively dating, I was on every dating app and I loved it because everybody's there with the same purpose.
Yeah.
To date.
Right.
Like when
It's
you,
like very clear. Like you're not like talking to somebody at the bar and then they're like, oh, I have
oh yeah, I'm
whatever.
kind of
And you're
seeing
like,
someone. It's
oh, and
like,
you're like, oh, okay.
well, you were just
yeah.
flirting with me for the last hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, I was just being nice. I'm like, oh, maybe I misread that.
Sure.
But then even like, I think Instagram is great because Instagram, everybody has it. It's so easy to connect. Usually, you know when people are seeing someone based on their socials.
Right. Yeah.
But at the same time, not everybody on Instagram that you talk to is interested in dating.
Yeah.
If you're talking to someone on a dating app, there's clearly a point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Like,
I
you
know,
guys both
I'm-
signed up.
Yeah,
but-
I'm definitely for dating apps. Like I know dating apps get shit
Yeah,
on a lot
yeah.
too, but like, look, you have a good story.
Yeah.
But before
I'm-
we move on, I want to ask you,
Yeah.
what's your best date ever now?
Best date ever? Okay, probably. I really loved my second date with my boyfriend. No, now boyfriend. Was not my boyfriend at the time,
Okay.
obviously. But we can't give him that satisfaction.
Yeah.
No. But so he, we had the ROM date. That was really great. And like, we're both like have like stuff going on. And so he like at the end of the first date, which I appreciated, was like, oh, like this was really fun. Like I would love to see you again if you're down, which I like so appreciate, like someone like direct and like, you're not going home and being like, are they going to text me first? Am I going to, whatever. And so I was like, yeah, that'd be great. And like, I brought out my calendar and I was like, oh, like this week's like, I'm packed, like full. But like, it was I think it was like a holiday, like Monday or something like that. And I was like, well, the holiday Monday, like I was planning on going to Toronto Island, like taking my bike and like just biking around and like reading and stuff. Like, if you want to come with me, you can. And I was like, in the back of my head, I was kind of like, I hope he says no. Like, I was really like, I want like a nice day to myself and just like explore. Like, weather's nice again. I want to chill. And he was like, yeah, sure. Okay, I'll come. And like,
Love that.
it was great. It was great that like, we like worked in that, and that's like an ambitious first date. That's a marathon first date, to be like, we're taking a boat to another, you know what I
Fucking
mean? Like,
right.
there's no like escape out
Fucking
of that, right?
And it worked out.
And it did work out. And
It
that was
worked
like,
out.
and that was fun because it was also, again, I had been sitting in the mindset of like, oh, like I wanted this time alone. I wanted blah, 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 whatever. Like I was going to bring my notebook and like work on jokes, but like him being there, like made the experience so much better. Like I was just going to take the ferry. He bought us like one of the taxis. So like we got there faster, like we ended up on like a swing set. Like it was just very playful. Like it felt like very fun. Like we were just like, we were on a swing set and then we're biking around and then we were like kissing on the beach. And like, it was just so fun. Like it was great.
Wait, your favorite date was your own idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, and I stand by that claim. Women in male-dominated fields, actually.
That's like that TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it makes for a good story though. At least, like,
Yeah.
if you guys get married one day, like, yeah. My favorite date ever was the date I planned that he crashed accidentally.
He mooched off of my like whatever. What about you? What's like the best date you've ever been on?
I've got two.
Have you ever been on a date where someone else has planned it and you really loved it?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm like type A, like I plan everything. I'm like, I will send, if I'm going on a date with you, I'll send you a Google Calendar invite with the exact details of what we're doing, like Pinterest board or something. Like I'm like weird.
cool.
Like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's you're organized. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like to be. And all my favorite dates have all been like ridiculously long marathon dates. Like me and my ex, we were in
You're like,
Croatia.
let me get the itinerary.
Yeah, we were in Croatia
From
one
1
year.
to 3, we're gonna.
Yeah, literally. But no, we were in Croatia together and we just woke up extremely hungover. I was like, you want to just have a day today? She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh, let's go get food and then like, let's go to a day party. Then we'll book a nice dinner and then like, we'll hit up another bar. We ended up staying like a 12-hour day, like out on Havar Island and just had like the best day ever. But another good one, I was seeing someone, this is, I don't know, fucking a decade ago or something. And this was maybe the second or third time we've ever like hung out. So like she slept over. We woke up in the morning. I'm like, we got plans today? She's like, no. I was like, let's fucking have a day.
Mm.
And she's like, I don't have clothes.
That's how
I
you
don't-
say it. You're like, you send Cal invite. You're like,
Well,
for
no,
a day,
we were
for
always
a
together.
fucking
We were
day.
always together.
Okay.
But yeah, if not, I would send like, yeah, like I'm like, I'll write something stupid like hang out with cute girl. Like
Cute. That's fun. Yeah. Yeah.
So I literally was like, what are you doing? She's like, nothing. I'm like, okay, let's do something. She's like, I don't have anything. So I call her roommate. I was like, hey, I'm gonna send an Uber to your place. Can you put everything in the car? Just anything she might need. We'll Uber it to mine. She can get ready at mine. We like went for a boozy brunch, went to a Jays game, then a TFC game, then went to her friend's like karaoke birthday, but nobody was singing karaoke because it was big room, not small room. So like me and her did a duet together up on stage to
that's
start the
fun.
karaoke party.
Okay.
Then this is when Thompson Diner was still around, if you know what Thompson Diner is anyways. So we went to Thompson Diner for like midnight mac and cheese before going to bed at like 2 a.m. So I'm telling you, this is like 11 a.m. till 2 a.m. date. And it was unbelievable.
You guys are bringing like, we're already established couple energy if you're starting karaoke.
Yeah, so
like
someone
that.
told me
Yeah.
that. Like it's an easy way to love bomb people if you go on these like marathon dates. And I
Oh.
never saw that because like I clearly communicate and like I don't think I give off the wrong impression. If we're going on a date, the goal is to get to know each other.
Mhm.
You know, you'll know if I'm into you. I'm very like expressive. I communicate very clearly.
And also, as we established earlier, if the date's not going good, you're not going to
You're
like
gonna
just tough
cancel.
it out, or
Yeah.
like you're going to be
I'm
like,
not
oh, we're
gonna- I
not going to
won't tough it
go,
out.
we're not going to karaoke
Yeah.
tonight because this is
If
not
someone
about
I've
yeah.
been talking to that I'm excited to see, and like we've been talking for 2 weeks, and I know the vibe, and like again, I like to think I'm a good judge of character. If we go on a date and it sucks, I'd be like, is everything okay? Like, is something on your mind? If you want to reschedule, we can reschedule.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had times like that where someone was like, Ricky, like, I really want to do this. Like, can you give me 20 minutes? Like, I'm going through a bunch of shit at work. Like, it's taking up too much on my mind. 20 minutes. I was like, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get some food. You do your thing, grab your laptop, go home if you need to, like, do your thing, and then we'll reconvene in 30 minutes. And we did, and we ended up having like a great night. So it's like, again, bring the best version of yourself. If you're not 100%, then fucking cancel or bail or whatever, right? Like,
yeah. And love bomb the shit out of them.
yeah, no, definitely do not.
I'm
One of my
just
best friends, shout out Devin, one of my best friends. This guy is like the definition of like a love bomber, lover boy. Actually, I can't even call him a love bomber.
Does he acknowledge that he loves bombs?
No, because in his mind, he loves people. Like
Okay.
after like 48 hours, he's just madly in love.
Oh,
So he's just
okay.
like someone like that, and he falls in love like that quickly. That's just who he is.
okay.
So it's not even
Are
love
you like
bomb.
that?
No, I'm the opposite.
okay.
But mind you, with my ex, like, we were like that. So I guess fuck, who knows what I'm
Yeah,
like now.
you just
I
love
haven't been in
bombing.
love. Yeah, I haven't been in a relationship in
This
so
is
long
like-
where I don't even
yeah.
know what I'm like anymore.
Ricky's getting canceled. He's love bombing. We got all the haters from the
Fuck,
GGE
yeah, let's-
podcast.
Come on
here
over,
now.
guys.
Yeah, engagement's engagement.
Yeah,
you know,
engagement.
yeah.
One of my friends is in PR. She's like, Ricky, this is great. Like,
Yeah.
you can go in your villain era now. I'm like, I don't want to be a villain. I'm like, I like being liked. Like, I like my audience is so friendly and fun. Like, my DMs are like the nicest things in the world. Like,
Yeah. What do your DMs look like?
like honestly the nicest things in the world.
Okay.
Especially after going on something like this. Like, I'm getting chewed up publicly, like
Mm-hmm,
on the YouTube comments, Spotify, like on my own post, because I accepted the collab because like I want the Girls Got
sure.
Eat Pod to do well. Like,
Yeah.
that's cool. Like, they had me on. I want it to do well. And it's doing well, and I'm getting shit on, but I'm obviously gonna keep promoting it because I want it to continue to do well. So I have all these people hating on me, but then my DMs are literally like the nicest people. Like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, I see you're getting shit on, but I really like resonate.
Oh wow.
With, like,
people are like
yeah,
acknowledging that. Yeah.
I see you're getting shit on. I don't want to be part of it.
Would you
but-
mind responding to some of the
like,
comments?
sometimes I'll be like,
publicly,
and yeah, I'm just
actually?
like, do you mind like
Yeah.
backing me up a little? I'm getting fucking chewed apart. Like, my mom commented on the YouTube. I was like, I really like this episode. I was like, Mom, we have the same last name. Like, fuck, everybody knows. Mom, love you.
That's so cute,
Yeah,
though.
it
That's
was,
so cute.
no, my
Yo, shout
DMs
out Ricky's mom if you're watching this
Elaine,
one also.
Elaine will watch
Yeah.
100%. Ma, I love you. But yeah, no, my comments, I'm sorry, my DMs are literally the nicest.
Are any of them
things.
cute?
Yeah, like I get a lot of really nice messages.
Okay.
So here's one thing. I actually never said this publicly. I always say I don't respond to DMs because
Okay.
there's like 100 fake accounts of me that like scam women. I had a really, really shitty story that some lady called me from like South Carolina. I see South Carolina, and I do work for construction we have clients and suppliers in the States. So I pick up, I'm like, hello, it's like Ricky. I'm like, yeah, like Ricky. Like, yeah. It's like, why aren't you answering me? I'm like, I'm literally answering you. Like, what's up? She's like, no, you're not answering me on Telegram. And I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, don't got time for this. Like, bye. And I thought it was like a scammer or something. So I hang up.
Oh.
Calls me back. She's like, Ricky, like, what's going on? Like, why aren't you responding to me? I'm like, look, I don't know who you are. Like, I don't know how you got my number, but like, respectfully, I got shit to do today. Like, bye. Hang
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Calls me back, and like, she's borderline in tears. And I can hear the hurt through her like voice. So I'm like, hey, like, what happened? Like, talk to me. And I'm kind of annoyed, but I feel bad for this
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah.
Turns out she got like basically catfished by a person pretending to be me, used AI to put my face on like naked photos and shit. Like, it was a really shitty situation. I'm like, please, lady, tell me you didn't give this guy money. She's like, no, but he asked because, and my mom had a heart attack in September. And this guy used that information that I publicly posted like an idiot, saying that like, she's like, yeah, your mom had a heart attack. You needed money for the medical bills. I'm like, I live in Canada. It's free. She's like, I know, that's why I didn't send money, but you were saying that like, it was a wild story, shittiest thing ever.
Oh, no.
So I always tell people I do not respond to DMs.
Okay.
Never. I respond to DMs. Of course I do. 'Cause I'm a fucking normal person.
Right. But you just tell people like as
I
a
tell us
blanket,
like, yeah,
so people
blanket
don't
slate.
think
So
that
it's
they're
like,
talking
and
to
like,
you.
I had one person that.
Yo, that's kind of like, you're kind of famous though. If people are using you and all your
it's
info
just,
to like.
it's scary, right? It's scary because
Sure.
what they do is they'll make a fake account. So it's your pal Rick with 2 L's. And then they'll go on my most recent viral video. They'll comment on like the 100th comment down. So like, I don't fucking see it because it's buried. And
Yeah.
they'll be like, oh, like message me on my private Telegram. Well, then you're going to get a random person because the fucking name and the handle look so similar.
Right.
So anyways, I tell people I don't respond. And even one time, it was like near Valentine's Day, and I was like sending people flowers because that's like what I do on Valentine's Day. And I work with DoorDash a lot. DoorDash is great. You can like literally DoorDash anybody anything. So Valentine's Day, they always
Including
have great
flowers.
promos.
Yeah.
So I always DoorDash people flowers. So I posted something, some lady, random lady responded. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, what's your address? I'm going to send you flowers. She's like, no, it's okay. I was like, a woman doesn't want flowers. Like, I'm going to DoorDash you flowers. She says, you've always said you don't respond to random DMs. I respect that. And I was like, fucking right. I respect that. Yes.
Yeah. Assert your boundaries, queen.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck yeah.
Also,
like,
to be fair, I don't know if I would give a random guy with an Instagram following my address also.
Like, I'm not, what do you think? I'm going to show up or something?
You never know. Dudes are crazy out there, Ricky. Like, I know you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I
like,
guess
now
fair
that
enough.
I know you.
Fair enough, I
but
guess.
Like, if it was someone I didn't know, I'd be like, oh, I don't know about that.
2 years ago, not this past Valentine's Day, 2 years ago, I sent probably about a dozen women, like, just flowers. I was like, and my close friends, I'm like, anybody, if you didn't get flowers this year, like, slide in. Like,
again, this is why dudes hate you. They're like, stop doing that. You're giving us a
because
bad
you know what? I have a lot of female friends. And I always say the same thing. I'm like, if your man ain't doing the bare minimum, and the bare minimum is planning dates, actually planning, not picking you up at 7 saying, where are we going? Like, if they're not planning dates, going out of their way to put in effort, like, flowers cost fucking $25 delivered. Like,
personalized message.
Again, they're not the greatest flowers ever, but like flowers from Metro or Loblaws or whatever, like, you could literally DoorDash them for less than $30.
Yeah.
Like, especially on Valentine's Day when it's coming up. Like,
right.
I know I had female friends that didn't have flowers from their boyfriends on Valentine's Day. I'm like, yo, like, I'm not saying this is breakup worthy, but this is like sit down, serious conversation worthy. Like, you haven't got flowers in 6 months. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, I'm not saying you need the most.
Yeah.
But, and
I feel like gift giving is a love language for you. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
My gift right now. Like,
yeah. Ricky brought me some gifts, you guys. We'll have it on the Instagram. You can check it out there.
But I believe that men need to do better. I believe men have been complacent. I believe men think they're too hot or too good or too whatever. Men need to get back to doing the little things. Remember to say good luck when your partner or someone you're talking to has a big meeting or a big sales call.
It's just like decency of like respecting.
Offer to walk them home after a date or send them an Uber home or offer to pay for it. Like all these little things that I find that a lot of men don't do anymore. Yeah. It's fucking sad because it's even easier to do now than it was 20 years ago.
For sure. Well, and I was reading a book that it was like someone who I think calls himself like a sexologist was writing about like men in the States, but it's saying like millennial and like Gen Z men, like men in our age groups, they're twice as likely as women to say that they're not dating, they're not having sex, they're not even trying to because they feel like nobody would want to. Which is like crazy that they're so self-aware to know that. But like, no. But like in all seriousness, like I think there's a real like challenge with like young men. And I think it's like, it might not even be about them. Like it might not even be about the woman in their life and like what they're worthy of. But it's like the same thing where I'm sure you've had experiences like yourself as well, that like when you're feeling so shit about yourself, then how are you supposed to like give love to other people? Or when you're thinking like, oh, well, why bother investing in like even buying somebody something nice for a first date because it always goes shit. It always goes like, I was really shocked when I read that because I was like, maybe there's something like deeper happening. I don't know.
I think, look, you can't treat future partners based off past experience. That's not fair to the future people. And like we've all had bad relationships. We've all been, fucking sewered in the past. We've all had bad things happen to us in relationships and in love. You cannot carry that forward. I think that's part of the breakup where when you break up after a shitty breakup or a shitty relationship, you need to heal. Because if you bring that trauma forward, you're not doing anybody like anything good. Like, and I've done it. I've done that in the past where I've brought in previous relationships into current ones and I've hurt people. And it's like, I'm not saying these people I hurt were fucking innocent by any means, but did they deserve what I did to them? Absolutely not. And I did it to them just because I was carrying previous pain forward. Yeah. So it's like, hey, after a breakup, take time to heal. After my most previous breakup, like I have no idea still how I did everything I did because it was like playbook how to heal yourself. Not how to get over someone, how to heal yourself. And there's a big difference. It wasn't, I need to get over her and I need to do these things to get over her. It's like, hey, I'm broken. I need to fix myself. I was spending time with my mom and my dad and my nephew, my brother, my sister-in-law. I was spending time with my friends. I was spending a lot of time outdoors, walking, running, journaling, reading, maybe not meditating, but runs without music is meditating.
The ice bath.
Yeah. But I was cold plunging all the time. I was doing all the right things to heal myself, not get over them. Yeah. You heal yourself, you'll get over them, but in the like nicest possible way. And because of that, I don't hate her at all. I don't talk bad about her. Right. I don't speak negatively about. I hope she doesn't speak negatively about me either.
Nah, she's not on a podcast. Who cares?
Maybe she is. She's got more followers than I do.
Oh, okay.
No, but like we're cool. Like we don't talk, but we definitely respect each other. If you do the old school thing where it's like, I'm going to go out and like fuck my way over this, or, one way to get over someone is to get on top of someone, or whatever these bullshit things are that we talked about in our 20s, or you're still in your 20s.
Yeah. I'm still fucking my way through everything. Thank you very much.
No, but if you do these things, like you're never going to heal properly. Sure. Yeah, you might get over somebody, but you're not going to heal properly.
Yeah, you're not going to be bringing, like you were saying, like a good version of yourself to the
and
next person.
I ended up writing a book out of this.
You did. I want to talk to you about your book.
Like, it's the most wild thing. Like, I kid you not, my friends are still like, Rick, I can't believe you fucking did that last night. That was wild. And like, that was part of my healing process. And it was because instead of focusing on getting over her, I focused on healing myself and getting back to where I needed to be. But yeah, wow, they wrote a fucking book.
That's crazy. And that was inspired by the heartbreak with the ex.
Yeah, so I journal a lot. I started journaling, 7-8 years ago, battled depression. And I told this exact story. My therapist, like our second session, she's actually like, do you meditate? I'm like, I fucking hate meditating. Like, I can't sit there with my own thoughts sometimes. Like, I want to be out doing things. She's like, well, do you journal? I'm like, what? She's like, do you have a diary? I'm like, I'm fucking depressed. You want me to have a diary? Dear diary, I'm depressed. Goodbye. Thanks. Fucking right. I feel terrible now. Like, she's like, no, Ricky, just write down things that make you happy, things that make you sad, and just be able to read them after. It doesn't have to be like dated, this and that. Just scribble notes anywhere you are. Have a little notepad and or even on your phone, just write things down. Write things down that make you feel. And I did. And I've been doing this for years now. And last year I was writing down things about like, why me? Like, what the fuck's wrong with me? Why can't I find? I was single for 4 years. And I'm not saying I'm like a fucking eligible bachelor, but I like to think I'm a decent catch.
Your boyfriend application went viral.
Yeah, so
clearly
I like to think I'm a decent catch here. Yeah.
And
I'm like, hey, I got all these people that are interested in me. Why can't I find someone? Like, what's wrong with me? And then you meet someone and you're like, holy fuck, I finally found what everybody else wants and what everybody else is like craving and like all these feelings. And I'm journaling all this. Then obviously I get my heart broken. You're still journaling. And then I kind of...
Wait, so you were depressed? You were already doing the journaling before the breakup?
Yeah, I was journaling before. I've been journaling for 7 years now.
Cool.
And again, it's not in a specific book. It's just like, you'll look through my work notes and you'll see like random shit written.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just like...
I can't wait to like, there's just like sticky notes that are like, I'm sad.
Yeah, maybe not like that, but yeah, like shit like that.
Morning affirmations on the mirror. Like, that was a really shitty thing that person did to me.
Yeah, but I was writing down everything. And then like towards the end when I was like really healing, I started reading quotes on TikTok and someone was like, you should write a book. And I was like, I should write a fucking book. And then I had maybe like 40, 50 journal entries at the time that I'm like, I could reword these into poetry. And the nice thing about poetry is like, there's no right or wrong answer. It's art. So I'm like, and I love R.H. Sin and like Rupi Kaur. Like those are like fucking legends to me. Like I remember reading Rupi Kaur when I was a kid, like R.H. Sin, like, fucking, we're friends now. Me and him are friends.
That's
like,
really cool.
It's fucking
I don't know we were whispering.
Fuck, never mind then.
Okay.
He's really cool. He's like one of the biggest modern day poets. Anyways, I remember reading a lot of their stuff. I'm like, hey, what if I just like turn these random sentences into like poetry?
Yeah.
And I did. And I like the idea behind the book is it's meant to be like a companion on your journey through love. Whatever stage of love you're in, know that you're not alone. And, sometimes it's tough. Like nobody wants to hear their friend vent and bitch about being heartbroken or being lonely or how great their relationship is or how fucking many times they cold plunged this week and how many runs they went on and how blah, blah.
You can go to Ricky's Instagram for that.
People are gonna get fucking annoyed of me, right? Like, so I wrote this because sometimes you feel that you got no one to talk to.
Cool.
So no matter what stage you're in your journey through love, you have somebody with you.
I love that. Is there one quote that you found like most impactful when you were...
So it's actually funny. It's not even something that's written in the book anymore, but it's just the one that's been sticking with me the most lately. And it's what I sign in every book when I sign them. In the depths of heartache, we are reminded of our capacity to love. And to be honest, I don't even know if that's mine or if I've just been writing it because I saw it somewhere. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, don't come for us if that was you.
Yeah,
Let us comment below if that was
I Googled it after. I'm like, I didn't see it. I'm like, maybe I came up with it. I don't know. Like, but I love that because when you're so heartbroken and you're so sad and you're so miserable and depressed and you're just thinking like, fuck, like this sucks and there's no love in you. Think about how sad you are. For every good, there's a bad, right? For every sadness, there's a happiness. For every
and the reason why you're sad is because you cared, because something mattered. In order to have even someone matter to you and be that important to like let you feel that way, you have to be so vulnerable. And there's so many steps along the way to even feel like that. Ricky, we've got some. We're doing. We're calling it the Heartbreak Help Desk.
Okay, the Heartbreak Help Desk.
We got some questions, some scenarios from our listeners, and they would love to have your perspective.
Also, this is not professional advice. Just because I have a fuck ton of followers, it doesn't make me right or wrong. I don't know what I'm doing. This is just my personal opinion before I get shit on. Yeah, don't come for me.
Well, now that the disclaimer, the legal disclaimer is out of the way. Okay, someone wrote in, I feel this is a stupid question, but genuinely, how do you become more emotionally available? In your experience, how do you think you do that?
I think being more honest and open with yourself. I think, and I get in fights with people, like these like stoic men online where it's like, men can't be emotional, men can't be this, men can't be this. Like, no, be honest and be open with yourself. That's a very tough thing to do. It's not easy. I completely understand that. But if you are honest and open with yourself, you will find that you will become more emotionally available, or you won't be emotionally available at all, but you'll know you're not. And you'll
That's
know
still
that,
an awareness.
yeah, that's an awareness, and you
Yeah.
know that you need to work on it, because there's nothing wrong with being emotionally unavailable. There's nothing wrong with it. There are a lot of people that they've been through some shit. They want to work on themselves because right now they're not emotionally available. Good.
Mhm.
At least you can acknowledge that, and at least you're aware. Work on yourself, be honest and open with yourself, and eventually you'll get there.
Yeah, for sure. I
What do you
like
think? You
that.
think that's good advice?
I think that was pretty solid. The only thing I would like add to that is like I know for myself, like whenever I've not been emotionally available, it's because I'm not willing to even accept my own emotions.
Okay.
And so like even just like I feel like it's a bit of an inside job of because how are you supposed to communicate to someone else how you're feeling and what you're thinking when you yourself don't even understand, right? Like if you can't even break down, oh, well, when you said this, like even just noticing, that's why I think like the body work that like you were talking about
Yeah.
earlier is so important because even noticing, oh, it was that comment that made me feel that way rather than just being like, well, I don't know why. Like, you know, like
Okay,
you
so
can
let me
kind of
ask
break
you,
it down a little bit more.
Name a time in your life where you were emotionally unavailable, and what did you do to become emotionally available again?
Okay, so I would say like again, like early 20s, post heartbreak, going out with all these really old weird dudes. Definitely not emotional.
Seeing everybody's
available.
5-minute stand-up pitch.
Yeah, exactly. Deep into the notes app where I don't want to be. And then I would say like it's probably I would say only maybe honestly I think meeting my boyfriend has kind of forced me. I was like, oh, this is someone that I really enjoy spending time with, and I want to keep doing that. But in order to like keep moving the relationship in a direction that like ultimately I want and is
Yep.
aligned with like my values and like my vision for like my life and my future, like I need to be more like it's like it's been tens of thousands of dollars of therapy actually is the short answer
but
of
it's
understanding
worth
like
it.
yeah, and just again like understanding how I'm thinking and feeling about things and then like communicating that to another person, whole nother skill set.
Yep.
But I think for me
100%.
that's I mean again we're not fact checking, we haven't even defined
And
emotional
to be
availability.
honest, therapy is one of the single greatest investments you can make in yourself.
Hell yeah, I
Like
agree with
anyone who
that.
thinks therapy is not worth it or thinks they're too good for therapy, whatever. Teach their own.
Yeah.
But if you are open to it, go check it out. There's a lot of resources online. To be honest, one of the easiest and cheapest ways to get free therapy is ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Create a conversation with yourself. Say, hey, use these prompts. Hey, based off whatever your age group is, whatever your
Yeah.
gender is, whatever you identify as.
Speaking of ChatGPT, I also want okay, we don't have time for it because we're doing advice
Okay,
right now.
okay, yeah.
But I want to ask
Anyways,
I
ChatGPT,
do
use
want to
it.
ask you about we'll have to talk about maybe when I'm on your podcast, we can talk about how ChatGPT is like becoming people's full on like boyfriends and stuff
literally.
now. We'll say
We'll say it for mine.
comment below if you want to
We'll
hear
say it for
about
the
that.
Pals
Yeah, exactly.
podcast.
Yeah. Okay. We got another question from a listener. How can I I feel like it's similar, but it's specifically opening up to intimacy in a new person after a dry spell.
Ooh, wow.
Have you ever had that where you've had like a long experience where you're like not seeing anybody, not getting it, and then you're like, okay, we're doing it. Open it up,
man.
literally.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is just make sure you're confident with yourself. Yeah. Again, like fuck, I sound like a shitty broken record with terrible advice, but no, being confident in yourself.
Yeah.
I think if you're confident in yourself and you feel natural in your skin and you feel confident in your body and all your shapes and your curves and who you are, like that's the best thing ever. There's nothing worse than being with someone that isn't comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah.
Like
Hell
you
yeah.
feel
And
that
also
energy.
if you don't feel like you like that person, don't do it.
Don't do it. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Okay, we got another one for you here. I'm struggling with a friend group that I don't feel is supporting me or there is an imbalance in the support. They're all getting married and having babies, and I've done so much to support them, being a bridesmaid, spending a lot of time and money making things feel special for them. I'm single and I'm happy with that. My career gives me a lot of meaning and excitement. However, I don't feel the support back from my friends when there's a celebration work-wise or in an area of my life that's not a promotion. I just got a big promotion and they didn't even answer me when I told them that. I get people are busy, but I know if I sent them something like I got engaged, they would have been so excited about this. How do I manage this situation and my expectations?
That's a fucking great question. And I feel like that's valid because many people feel like that. The biggest thing biggest advice I would give is communicate that with them. Communicate that, hey, I feel that I'm not being appreciated as much as I appreciate you. I feel that I'm not being treated the same now because I'm not in a relationship, because I don't have kids, I'm not married. And the biggest example is friends that get left out of birthdays because they're not married. And it's such a big thing, or like baptisms, communions, and like babies' first, second, and third birthdays. Single people don't get invited because we just invited the couples with kids. Like, well, communicate.
Is it something? So I'm not at that stage
so
yet. Is
I'm
it
at that
something?
stage now
Are they
where-
like, we didn't think you'd even want to come? Is that
yeah,
it?
so that's what again, I don't. Anytime I don't get invited to something, I'm like, thank God.
Sure,
I'm too fucking busy for this anyways.
yeah.
But I have friends that'll be like, hey, did you get invited to so and so's birthday? And I'm like, the baby?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I'm like, no. Well, did you see so and so got invited? I'm like, Who cares? They said, well, I know we're closer than those people. I'm
Right.
like, yeah, but they got kids. Like, that doesn't bother you? I was like, no. But I'm like, why does it bother you? Like, I don't know. I feel like I should have been invited. I'm like, okay, say something.
Right.
Say, hey, next time I feel that I should have been invited. Like, we've been friends for so long. I understand I don't have a baby. I don't have a wife. But, you know, I want to feel included in these bigger gatherings that have things. Just because I don't have one doesn't mean I shouldn't be invited. I think if you communicate that and they still don't invite you, then that says more about your friendship than anything. But most people are understanding. Sometimes those people in relationships might not think they're doing anything wrong.
Right.
Sometimes they're just like, oh, like, cool, you got a promotion. Great. Like,
Right.
Don't we all get promotions?
Right. Right.
You only get engaged once a year. Sorry, not once a year. Whoa. you get engaged once.
Your life
once in your lifetime, right? So
Yeah.
people are like, okay, maybe it's not that thing, but communicate.
Yeah.
Communicate. If you're not feeling appreciated, communicate it.
Yeah, I love that. No, I feel like it's hard because like you want people to sell. Like I think especially when you're talking about like things of like a celebration.
Yeah.
I think it gets frustrating for people though when it's like there's these societally recognized thing like a marriage or like having a child that like everyone knows how you're supposed to act, but when someone's living maybe like non-traditionally or like outside of that scope, then it's hard. Like I think it's on you to let people know like, hey, this is the important moment. You know, because they might not know that. They might not interpret it that way. Yeah.
And it's tough because, again, you don't know what other people are going through. You don't know what the people with, with kids, you don't know if their baby's been up every night, all night, and they're sleeping during the day and you got to go to work. Like, we don't know what everybody's doing, but clearly communicate. Like, hey, like, I don't feel appreciated that you missed my, monthly Thursday dinner because whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what people go through these days.
Yeah.
Like, just communicate it.
Feeling heartbreak. Okay, Ricky, we got some rapid fire questions to close out the episode with you.
These are honest answers, or are we trying to fuck
honest
people's
answers. We're not doing what were we calling that earlier at the beginning? We're not doing wrong answers only. We're doing authentic answers only. Okay. What's one app on your phone you refuse to delete?
Apple Music.
Okay.
Red flag. I know.
Red
Fuck
flag.
it.
Gross.
Come at me. It is what it is.
Switch to Spotify. That's disgusting. Ew.
Yeah,
I can't believe.
I'm so deep into Apple Music.
Can't believe he's listening to Usher on Apple Music. That's so cringe. Okay. Can you read us a note from your notes app?
Of course, I would love to. Let's see what's no journal entries. Let's see. Okay, so my most recent note is things to do. I have a note of fun things to do.
Cool. Are these like date ideas or just
some are date ideas,
okay.
some are just fun things to do. The first one's really shitty though. It says, run to Mandarin in Etobicoke and run back and then binge watch Severance.
Okay, that's not a bad idea. Like,
you ever been to Mandarin? Obviously.
Yeah. I've frequented Mandarin.
How nice is it to run, 10K or something? And then just fucking eat whatever you want because you just ran and then like walk back. It would be a long, it's a good 5-6 hour event, but great fucking day.
Also, you would stank up the place at Mandarin. Nobody would be up in your.
I don't care. I would size in. Okay, my second one is fuck. I don't know if I should say this one. But I put one of my buddies on blast. I have his name and all the women he said I love you to in the last 2 years.
Wait, why
this is my friend that love bombs people.
Okay, I have so many questions. Why do you have this in your notes app?
Because at one point I'm like, I feel like you've said I love you to so many women in the last like 2 months. And he's like, no, bro. I'm like, I swear you do. I'm like, I'm gonna start keeping track now.
So how many is it?
Since last January, he said, so since January 2024. Okay. January 2024. It's 15.
15.
And I started putting in dates because he says, no, I didn't say that. So I write it what he said.
Oh my God.
So
also, just
like,
for everyone's reference, this is March 12th, 2025.
Yeah.
So this is like a
so
little
someone will be
over a
like,
year.
oh, I'm marrying her. Mark my words, I'm marrying her. I love her. She's perfect. She's the love of my life. I'm going to marry her. I love her. Guys, I'm so in love. I met the love of my life here. I will marry her. so basically.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So he's like, if we break it down, it's essentially once a month. He's saying this about someone.
Yeah. Wow. Well, we love him though.
That's okay. Well,
and he truly believes he loves them.
Oh my God.
I know, wild.
I feel really sad for all the girls on their.
No, because they say I love it back too. Like, it's wild. This is wild. You should get him on the podcast
it's like very early on in the relationship.
I think he attracts people that love more than he does, and he is a lover boy like that. And
damn, is the note secretly about you, Ricky? You can
no.
Can
Trust me, no. I've said I love you like one person the last like 5 years. Yeah. This is. I think. Yeah. No, I've said I love you to maybe one person the last like in this decade.
Okay, maybe that friend
is marking down mine.
Mark yours. I mean, to be a very short list, maybe the motivation to get it up a bit. Last question for you, Ricky. How do you keep from being overstimulated? How do you keep yourself just mentally feeling good?
I do the things that bring me back, like bring me joy. So there's things that I do every single day.
Like marking down your friends, I love you.
No, but I do my gratitude journal. I like make sure I call my friends. I go to the gym every single day. I call my mom almost every day. I see my dad at work, so it's nice. But I do the things that bring me peace and joy.
Mhm.
And even the days where I'm having the most stressful, chaotic day, I will make sure I do those things. Or even the days where I'm like insanely hungover and I like fucking hate my life because I'm like, why did I do that last night?
Yeah.
I will still do all my things because that's what brings me peace. That's what like recharges my social battery, recharges me, like gives me the energy I need. So that's what I do. I think it's everybody's different and everybody's got their own routine. Everyone's got their own thing that they do. But yeah, mine are I make sure I do the things that, bring me happiness, bring me
Mhm.
joy. Cause some days I feel like I'm going on a fucking roller coaster. I'm about to lose control any day. Cause
Hell yeah.
any given day I'm doing a million different things and I'm going to, fucking million miles an hour. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm about to lose control. It's like, you know what? Take a break, shut the phone off, go to the
Just
gym for an
prioritize
hour.
the things
Yeah.
that can make you
Or,
feel
hey,
good.
you know what? I know I got
Yeah.
100 emails to check. Let me just take 5 minutes to do my gratitude journal and just remember that, fuck, these emails can wait. I don't do anything that's life or death. I'm not a fucking surgeon. I'm
Yeah.
not an astronaut. Nobody is dying if I take 5 minutes to respond to this email. So
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
What about you though?
For
I was
sure.
actually curious
For
because I don't know
keeping
you. I don't know you well, right?
Well, you're going to when I'm on your podcast for
Obviously.
sure. But
And when I come to your shows.
yeah, when you come to my next comedy show, April 12th, ticket link is below. Don't you forget.
Where?
I would say for me,
Where's the
definitely
comedy show? Sorry.
Comedy bar.
Okay, sick.
Bloor
I'm sitting
Osmondson.
front row. Better
Yeah.
roast me.
Okay, I will.
Fucking
I
right.
will. I've got so much time to reflect.
Yeah.
I'm gonna review this episode and being like, oh, it'll be great. It'll be great.
Just go
You're
through
gonna
the
be
comments on the Girls
yeah,
Betting
yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
You'll get tons of material there.
No, for sure. And
Yeah.
you should bring a date or something
Yeah.
too, so it'll be a
Oh, I
full
will.
full
You kidding?
experience.
You're
Hell
gonna
yeah.
make her laugh, and then she's already wet. This is easiest job I've ever
It
had.
sounds like you're thirsting for free content
Yeah,
from
this
me.
is fucking
Actually,
great.
this is like
This is
you're gonna vlog
just
it.
roast me, and then she's already laughing. She just had the funniest night.
Yeah.
I'm feeling insecure. She's like, "No, babe, don't worry.
Right. Yeah,
Your
yeah.
nose isn't
and
that
you're like,
big.
oh, look, I'm like so cute.
Yeah,
so
you don't
I
have
can
that
take a
many gray
joke."
hairs.
Yeah.
Don't worry, babe. You're fine."
So it's gonna be.
Yeah.
I'd say for definitely like keeping mentally well. I definitely think having a good routine with like workout, and I have a morning routine that I'm not willing to talk about publicly yet because I think I might need to like sell it someday.
Okay.
But it just makes, I'll tell you it offline, but it just makes me feel so good and
I'm
so
gonna sell it.
centered. And I think like just linking what I'm trying to do and what I'm doing in the present day to like what my big kind of goals and aspirations and manifestations are, like that makes every day feel so important and so special
Yeah.
about being like, because I've also like you struggled with depression, been like so not good
Yeah.
at times. And it's usually when I'm not working out, I'm not eating right, I'm not sleeping right. I'm usually like drinking too much, smoking too much weed, just
Yeah.
like engaging in like, the things I think are going to make me feel better, but don't actually in the long run. And just being able to have like a centered approach of just seeing everything is like a beautiful blessing. Like, coming and talking to you, like what a cool thing I get to do. And, the ability to have this great studio space and just like being really grateful for what I have and like the opportunities that are coming my way.
You even just said it. I get to do it.
Yeah.
It's not I have to. It's I get to. And once you shift that mindset that I don't have to go to work, I get to go to work.
Sure.
I get to do
Yeah.
things that make me money, that gets me to travel and do all these
Yeah.
fun things. I get to come on a podcast like this and share my life with a new person, get to meet someone new that is doing something so fucking cool and exciting. And I remember when I was, what episode is this? Like 15?
I think we're at 20 some now, but yeah, exactly.
So,
When
like,
you're starting.
You're just doing this. Like every time I get to do mine, I'm so excited. 'Cause I'm like, fuck, I get to do this. There are people that would kill to do the things I do.
Totally.
There are people that would kill to just have a fucking fraction of the things I have. So once you shift that mindset from I have to do it to I get to do it, your life just fucking changes.
Hell yeah.
And I think you have to battle some demons and you have to see what the bottom looks like to appreciate what the middle is.
For sure.
And I always say this, when I was at my worst, I didn't want the best days. I wasn't craving those 10 out of 10 days where,
No.
you got a promotion or you got to travel the world. No, I was just craving a mediocre day. I just
Yeah.
wanted a 5 out of a 10.
Right. And that's such a mind trip too. Like there's so many moments in my like day-to-day life now where sometimes I'll like be like, oh, like I have to do this meeting and then this thing. And then like, the stress of it kind of gets to you. And I like have to pause and be like, yo, like 3 years ago, you would have killed to be in this room. You would have killed to have that kind of like this busyness in your life.
When I think about things and I think about that version of me that was depressed, if that version of me could see me now, he'd be like, no fucking way.
Right.
No way you are doing all of this.
Yeah.
There's no chance in hell you're.
Do you ever do any like visualization with like a lot of my therapy is like visualizing like former versions of myself and talking to them? And sometimes I'll actually like visualize like myself when I was like first making content or first making comedy. And like, I think I have a lot of like resentment towards like how I maybe wasn't working hard enough. I was like struggling with like mental health at the time. But sometimes I'll like visualize me like going into the apartment that I lived at the time and like talking to her and being like, yo, like I see you, you're doing it, like giving like motivation to like your former selves. I found is like so powerful.
See,
for me.
I know a lot of women that do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm just big on manifesting. So like, why I don't talk to my future self. Like, if I have a goal, in my mind, it's already done. And the problem with that was last year, especially the second half of the year, when I was just like focused on me and me only. Every goal I wanted, I got. Like I wanted to write this book. I finished the book. I published it. I wanted to go on CP24 to promote the book. I got that. I wanted to do X amount of brand deals. I got that. I wanted to hit like X amount of followers. I hit that. Everything I wanted to do, I was doing. And the problem is I'd set these goals in my head and I manifested them so hard that when they like came to reality, came to fruition, I wasn't even celebrating them. I was like, hey, what's next? And then in that process, I forgot what the journey was. And I was just chasing this finish line. Every time I got to the finish line, I'm about to step over, I was moving it.
Right.
So I said, even in 2025, I'm just appreciating the fucking journey because one day life isn't going to be this. I'm not going to be able to do all these crazy, wild things. I'm not going to be able to run half marathons in different cities with a friend and then come back and do a podcast like this and go play pickleball with my mom in Florida and all these wild things that I fucking do on a day-to-day basis almost.
Yeah.
So I need to appreciate these. It's not always about the end goal and the finish line.
Appreciate the hate comments you got from girls got to eat.
You know what?
Some people would kill for those hate comments.
One day, nobody's even going to fucking know my name.
Yeah, sure.
One day, no one's going to talk to me. TikTok's not going to exist. Instagram's not going to exist. And no one's going to remember any of this.
Yeah.
So while I get hate on, I get shit on, I was like, fuck, at least you know what I look like.
Yeah.
You might not like what I look like, but at least you're talking about me. So, no, but Hillary, I appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much. We'll get you online,
Ricky.
and I definitely got to come to one of the comedy
I would
shows.
love that. That would be great. I would love that. And real quick, just let everybody know, where can they find your book? Where can they find you? We'll have your socials linked below.
Yeah, so it's Your Pal Rick on all socials. It's my only account. The book is Heartbreak Love on Instagram. But yeah, just follow me, Your Pal Rick, on everything. You can see all the other cool things I'm up to. A lot of things happening. I'm really putting an emphasis on my vlogs this year. Really trying to get the vlogs going because I think that'll be the coolest thing ever when I'm like 50 and I have grandkids or kids or whatever, and they get to look back and be like, wow, Dad was actually fucking cool.
Grandpappy Ricky.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't wait for my nephew.
In LA.
Yeah, my nephew and my niece in like 10 years when they know what's happening, they're gonna be like, whoa, Uncle Ricky was actually cool. And at that point, I'm gonna be like this like old shit little dude just like walking around in my cane or something. Maybe not 10 years. Fuck, I got more than 10 years. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Keep going to Barry's. Keep hanging out with the bar girl and maybe. That'll be a good byproduct.
No more bar for me. No more bar for me for now. I'm done with that. Too many skinny little girls kicking my ass in there.
So it's good to have humbling.
Yeah, it was definitely humbling. But no, I appreciate you having me on. Thank you. And I wish you all the best of luck in this. Like, this is such a cool thing what you're doing. And I love this, like this whole production and what you're doing. And you're a great host. You ask great questions. You're well prepared. And I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks, Ricky. Thanks, guys, so much for getting overstimulated with us. We will see you next time. Goodbye.
Peace.